As you guys probably know, I've shot my last few videos on my cell phone. And I was doing that because this little piece of garbage was driving me nuts. Where'd it go? So while my little handheld camcorder deal was driving me squirrel nuts crazy, and I decided to give up on it for a while and shoot with the cell phone while I was seeking out better options, and I did look long and hard, and I wanted to get a couple of features that were going to help me out, and might have gone a little overboard. Let's get a look at this thing. Alright, so I'm not going to waste a pile of time showcasing a camera that you guys don't care about. Really, I mean, as long as I shoot what I'm shooting and you guys get to see it, that's all you really care about, right? Anyways, this is a very serious camera that I picked up. It is several years old, and it was stupid expensive when it was brand new, and I still paid more for it than I really would have wanted to pay for a camera. But this thing is going to afford me a few things that I didn't have before. It's really going to help me out. And one of the things that's going to help me out is its microphone capabilities. I've got a couple of XLR ports here, and what that means to you is I can plug in a shotgun mic, or I can plug in a lapel mic, or any number of additional microphones, so that when I'm doing my typical shot of standing, you know, with a tractor or something in between me and the camera, and I'm several feet away, you guys aren't competing with wind noise and me yelling to hear me. It's got a much larger battery for better capacity, and I've got an optional external hard drive for extra storage, a couple of memory card slots. This is a bad boy. So enough about the camera. What I'm going to share with you now, while I get geared up to shoot some new stuff, is to share some old footage that never quite made it. A couple of months ago, the Oddfathers went on another trail ride at Jeremy's, and we decided not to film it. Just one of those things, let's go out and have a good time. Anyways, Murphy's Law picked that opportunity to bite me in the behind again, because that was, without a doubt, the most epic run we have ever had. I'm telling you, the carnage was insane. I put Fugazi up in the air and then flopped it over its side into a swamp and blew the bead off the tire and had to break out the inflator and the whole shooting match, get it reseated and all that stuff. Jeremy, Black River Customs, actually backflipped his tractor on the Steve Brown Memorial Hill so hard that he fractured a couple of ribs and actually destroyed his transaxle. It jammed in reverse, and all he had was reverse going from there on out, you know, once he was able to, you know, stop seeing stars and junk like that. Lawn Gone, with the incredible Swamp Donkey, stripped out his steering to the point where you could just spin his steering wheel and it would just go and go and go and go and go. And we spent, I think it was 2.5 hours walking him out of the trail, while he and Black River Customs took turn kicking his tires back and forth just to steer him out of the trail, you know, at idle speed, just to get back to the house. It was absolutely absurd, and I am so sorry we didn't film it. That figures, eh? You know, we can film and film and film, and you get the odd little bits and pieces. But, you know, the day we decide, okay, screw it, we're not filming anything, is the day that literally everything happens. Anyways, preparing for that video, I had to dig Fugazi out of mothballs, do some work to it, did the brakes, changed the front tires. So I did shoot that, and I didn't produce it, so I'm producing it for you here today, and I'll let you watch that. Hey folks, Doc here. Somewhere around I've got a holder thing for this phone, and I don't know where it is. I am shooting this on my cell phone, and the reason that I'm doing that is because my camcorder is getting a little bit old and the batteries aren't in the greatest shape at this point, and, you know, trying to charge them or keep them charged, it's not working out well. Anyways, I just wanted to shoot this little video to kind of bring up to speed on a couple of changes I made to Fugazi after getting it running, having sat for, well, shoot, close to a year, having not done anything with all this COVID stupidity. So I made a couple of quick little changes to it, a little bit of upgrading, so to speak, and some general maintenance after getting it running again for tomorrow's Oddfathers off-road ride. yes, we are riding tomorrow, and no, we're not filming it. I'll apologize now. Guess I'll just get comfortable in the back of my truck for a second here. The reason that we're not filming it is this whole COVID stupidity kind of obviously screwed everybody up. We didn't think we were going to get to ride at all this season. And, you know, obviously all of our machines ended up in kind of a state. Fugazi took a bit to get back to life. The carburetor was junked up something fierce because last fall I completely neglected to drain the fuel system like I, you know, usually do. That was nasty, and then I had some other issues with it, and I wanted to make some changes too. But we're not filming tomorrow's ride because it's, you know, we're up at Jeremy's again. You guys have seen that trail system before, and we figure there's no sense rehashing it. You know, we go to a new place, you'll know about it. But in the meantime, we just kind of want to have what could be our only ride for the season and just make it enjoyable without having to stop and set up camera angles for every obstacle and send one guy through at a time with, you know, 2 or 3 minutes in between for all the camera work and yada 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 yada. Anyways, apologizing now for that, but that is the situation. We're not going to be filming. What I am probably going to do is stick one of the GoPros to the hood of my tractor or something like that, and, you know, if I do happen to capture anything cool, you know, I will share it with you. In fact, I'm probably not going to produce this video before that trail ride, so if I do happen to get anything good on video, I'll probably scab it into this one just so you get to see something. In the meantime, let me show you the state that Fugazi's in and the changes that I've made in order to be able to ride tomorrow. Alright, so here she is, and you could probably spot the major changes more or less immediately. I guess I'll start with the really blatantly obvious and simple first. And that is those pizza cutter front tires, which I've wanted to do for a while, and it's just a case of getting around to it and trying to adapt things so that the hubs will go on my factory Murray spindles. That took a little bit of doing, but as you can see, they're on there and good to go. And basically what I wanted to accomplish was the Murray steering geometry is absolute garbage. Always has been, always will be. The one thing I absolutely cannot stand about these Murrays is the steering geometry. And once you lock up the rear axle, it's not exactly cutting tight pirouettes. So I figured I'd get something that's, you know, I like the pizza cutters. I like the skinnies for this. They do help you steer better. It still steers like garbage, but it's slightly less garbagey. Anyways, I've got the Chinese ATV hubs, as you can see in there, and they're scabbed onto the stock spindles. And, you know, if you look really closely, apparently my light's on. If you look really closely, you can see that the stock spindle cups that were here have been cut away. I needed to buy myself just a little bit more space, and I've got some lock collars in there just to keep things in place. And you know, you can see by the fresh red grease that everything's all lubed up and ready to go. So these tires here I picked up, well, a couple of years ago now from my good buddy Chris Manis in Ohio. So there we go, I finally got to use them. I had put them on senseless Suburban, at least briefly, and then I got rid of the tractor. And the tires ended up coming back to me because he didn't want them. Okay, fine, I'll take them. I want them anyways. So aside from general maintenance and a brand new battery, and the carburetor was so bad and problematic, I actually wound up completely replacing it with a spare that I had kicking around. I guess this is the big ticket item here. And what you're looking at is a hydraulic brake system from a go-kart. I bought a go-kart for parts. And still a little bit of smoke from the welding on here because I just did a quick and dirty rod shortening trick here because I was really pressed for time. Did that the other day and it was just like hammer, 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 get it done, get it done, get it done. And it does work, and obviously, you know, quite a bit better than the stock transaxle brake. However, with that being said, this system has a problem as well. It's like this tractor does not want to have really good brakes. So with this tractor, let's see if I can get underneath here. The stock transaxle brake is still there, and it is still attached to the handbrake handle on the left side of the tractor. And that really only was meant to be a parking brake, so that's kind of what it's been relegated to. So I took the go-kart brake system more or less complete, the master cylinder, the hose, and the caliper, and just scabbed it onto this thing. And again, I did it quick and dirty. There's nothing pretty here because I didn't have time for pretty. I do have to do a little hose management there just to get it off the muffler. So as you can see, I haven't even bothered cleaning up the welds. I just zapped the damn thing on there. I was having some problems with the electricity. Screw it, it's on. Anyways, just trying to get the camera worked in there. It's a dual acting caliper, so there's pistons on both sides that come in towards the disc instead of a sliding caliper or a floating caliper where one side actuates and just pushes over. So this does push from both sides. However, the damn thing isn't as aggressive as I was hoping it was going to be, because I found out, you know, after putting everything together, damn it all, that I've got a bit of a leak back or a bleed back in the master cylinder, so it does not develop full pressure. A lot of it, the pressure kind of squirts past the piston and back into the reservoir instead of all being sent down the line to the caliper. So what that means to you and me is that I would like to be able to go burning down the road at full bore, stand on the brakes, lock them up and spin out. I cannot do that because it's not developing substantial enough pressure. What it is doing is it's allowing me to slow the thing down and hold a hill and stuff like that. And for now, that'll do. Later on, I'm going to change out the master cylinder. I do have a few options. Master cylinders from various other things, or if I'm so inclined and I want a straight bolt-up replacement, I can probably order another master just like this one. So go-kart pedal, master cylinder. I've got it laid out in such a way that I can pull my foot back from the throttle, turn it a little bit to the side and hit the brake. And I still used, if I can get back here for a second, I still used the 6-inch brake disc that I had on there before. I never took it off. So I just wound up, you know, setting my bracket depth so that I could take advantage of that again. Anyhow, as you can see, I'm a lot better equipped now. Things are starting to work back in gear. I had to do a new video outro because I was still trying to use one that said 2019 at the end of it and sort of covering it over with a 20. And, you know, 20, we're just going to forget about 2020 because that was an absolute disaster. So, new camera, new video outro, hopefully some new subject matter coming real soon. I do have an interesting project that I'm on the cusp of that I keep, you know, teasing you guys with. That'll be coming out soon. And something else just dropped into my lap, a project that I'm actually going to be helping someone else with. And he said I could film, so we're going to film that and show you guys what's going on with that. In the meantime, thanks for continuing to stay tuned, and until next time, take care of yourself. Alright, probably got one take with this thing because the phone's going to break. Damn. If I could get this thing to land face up, that would be fantastic. Cell phone. Can't kill this thing.